projects in Mole would threaten 224 plant species and 101 bird species, EIA report by Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore shows. Hotel owners complain middlemen divert their clients despite pre-booking, adding to woes of industry already in doldrums. A time capsule could be an additional feature when foundation stone will be laid for the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya on August 5. Hello everyone, I am Leena and now the news in detail. India recorded its biggest single-day jump of 55,078 COVID-19 cases in last 24 hours. The recovery of patients has crossed 10.57 lakh mark. The total tally of cases has reached 16,38,870, while the death toll has surged to 35,747. Meanwhile, the coronavirus cases in the world has reached 1.74 crore and more than 1.09 crore have recovered.
779 deaths were reported in last 24 hours. People are eagerly waiting for vaccine for this virus. However, the rising cases are not taking a rest. The coronavirus tally reached 5,704 as on Friday. COVID-19 last 24 hours. India cases 55,078, deaths 779, recovered 37,223. Source Arogya Setu. Total cases India cases 16,38,870, deaths 35,747, recovered 10,57,805. Source MOHFW. Neighboring state of Goa, Maharashtra is leading with coronavirus cases, followed by Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has started planning the strategy in various fields to control virus. Maharashtra 3,11,798, Tamil Nadu 2,39,978, Delhi 1,34,403, Andhra Pradesh 1,30,557, Karnataka 1,18,632. Source Arogya Setu. The coronavirus cases in the world has crossed 1.74 crore mark and death has increased beyond 6.77 lakh. More than 1.09 lakh patients have recovered. USA is leading with coronavirus cases, followed by Brazil, India, Russia and South Africa. World cases 1.74 crore, deaths 6.77 lakh, recovered 1 crore. Source Worldometers. Top 5 worst hit nations. USA 46,34,985, Brazil 26,13,789, India 16,43,543, Russia 8,39,981, South Africa 4,82,169. Source WHO. Bureau Report, Goa 365.
The people coming from other states in Goa during pandemic time had booked their hotels. Booking confirmation along with receipt was sent by the hotel owners. However, when these customers landed at the airport, the middleman took them to different hotel, said the South Goa Hotel Owners Association on Friday.
The association said that the business is facing a threat due to middlemen. They stopped getting customers to the hotel as they stopped giving commissions, they said. They also alleged that there were no benefit to them for registering as quarantine center. They also should want some relief on electricity bills, they have demanded.
कारण जेन्ना हे आमचे गोंयकार एअरपोर्टार येताले तेन्ना ते आमचे कन्फर्मेशन लेटरां व्यवस्थित घेवन येताले आनी थंय ते कितें करताले बाबडे आपले लगेज बिगेज घेतले की येवन ते एअरपोर्टार थंय गीद आसताले गिदा भाशेन तांचेर एटॅक जावप आमचे कस्टमरांचेर आनी 1 वर पयलीं फ्लायट येवची 1 वर पयलीं थंय 4 किंवा 5 हॉटेलांची नांवां प्रिंट जातालीं एअरपोर्टाच्या कावंटरान भितरच आनी ती गेस्टा समोर दवरप आनी तांकां सांगप ही 5 हॉटेलां आसात तातूंतूच तुमी वयचे तुमकां आनी खंय वचपाची अनुमती ना म्हणून जरी हे नाका जाल्यार तुमकां आमी 14 दिसांनी क्वॉरंटायनान दवरतले म्हणून ते बाबडे भियोन प्रेशरान जो मडगांव रावपी मनीस वतालो आनी कलांगूट रावतालो कारण ते लिस्टान ते कलंगुटाचें हॉटेल आशिल्लें. हे जातालें आमचे गेस्टां वांगडा हांगा कस्टमरां वांगडा एअरपोर्टार. भितर ऑफिशियल जे आसा ते कितें करता, फ्लायट लँड जावचे पयलीं 1 वर पयलीं लिस्ट प्रिंट करता 4 हॉटेलांची नांवां घालून, आनी आमकां जी परमिशनां दिला पळय ती दाखयता. आनी जेन्ना आमचे गेस्ट येता ती परमिशनां लेटर दाखयता आनी कन्फर्मेशन लेटर दाखयता तांचो की आमी तुमचे कडेन बूक करूंक ना, आमी ऑलरेडी बूक करून पे केला, तरी पण तांकां ना हांगा क्वॉरंटायनाचे बुकिंगाक लागून ते जवळ जवळ 700 ते 800 रुपया ब्रोकरेज मिडलमॅन घेता पर हेड, पर नाईट, पर रो. आमकां 100 रुपया उरना पण ते 800 रुपया घेऊन नाच जाता. ते आतां कोणाक पावता पयशे ते आमकां खबर ना.
The hotel owners say it's difficult to pay electricity and water bills as they have no customers. They demanded that government give some relief in these bills.
Now there is a lot of misunderstanding, you call it, or a scam which is happening in the airport. Though we've registered with the airport for quarantine, whoever wanting to come and stay in with us, with our hotels in quarantine. But what happens is, though we've registered over there, these guests or the passengers don't land up coming into our resort because there is somebody who's doing some sort of games over there where these passengers or guests go to certain hotels. Now these passengers or guests going to certain hotels is reducing a lot of, we are going into a very bad position with finance. And
Sandeep Tekar for GOA 365 from Margaon.
With a COVID care center being set up at the Kunkoli Industrial Estate, an environmentalist has raised questions about the safety of the environment at the industrial estate. He has apprehensions that the environment at the place is polluted. The environmentalist has asked whether it is safe to treat COVID patients in this environment.
Environmentalist Jorson Fernandez has called upon Goa State Pollution Control Board and Directorate of Health Services to look into the matter before a COVID care center is set up there. A number of pigeons have been found dead at a building in the industrial estate.
पळयल्यार जाय जो पळय आमची चिमणी पळय आसा स्टील प्लांट दुसरे प्लांटाचे बी तांचे सूट पळय आसा काळो सूट तो सूट सगळे पार्टिकल्स तातूंत भितर सरतात आनी दे व्हेरी हेवी पार्टिकल्स. हे पार्टिकल्स ती एनालायज करपाची पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्डाची गरज आसा. ही पार्टिकल थंय कितें येता ती पळोवपाची जाय, कित्याक इतले जर तर सकलाक आयली जाय जाल्यार ताजें कितें तरी चलना, कित्याक तांकां फॅन घालून वयर धाडपाचें आसता. दुसरें म्हणल्यार ताका कॅनोपी करपाचें आसता, ताजें उदक घालतात आनी ते मागीर सगळें सकला हाडटात. सकला हाडटकीर ते सेटल जातात, ते सेटल जातकीर ट्रीट करपा जाय. ह्यो कितें तरी गोश्टी वचना वा चलना आनी ताका लागून हो फूड पार्टिकल्स पळय आसा तो मुडाकूच मेळटा, नाजाल्यार तो मातसो पयस वता. लांब चिमणी गेलो जाल्यार तो पयस वता, पूण ताका कॅनोपी घालून ताजें उदक घालून तो सकला हाडटात आनी सकला हाडून तो ट्रीट करतात. हे एफ्लुएंट जे पळय आसा हे सुटाचे पळय आसा ते ट्रिटमेंट प्लांट वा किंवा तांची जी पळय दुसरी पळय वेवस्था पळय हा कॅनोपी घालून करपाची ती चलना काय दिसता म्हाका. आनी ती चलना जाल्यार जाय हो धुल्लो सगळे त्या सेंटरार येतलो आनी त्या सेंटरार आयलो जाल्यार ते पेशंट पळय आहा ते इनहेल करतले. इनहेल केले की ना तांच्या लंग्सांक आनी खूब प्रॉब्लेमां जातलीं आनी हे कोमॉर्बिडिटीजां लागून लोक मरपाक शकतात. पळयल्यार ते पारवे मेल्या ते, पूण आतां ते पारवे कित्याक मेल्या म्हणटा ते आमकां कांयच खबर ना. देर इज सम रिजन बाय वीच because of which these birds have died. Birds don't die just like that for us. So Pollution Control Board has to go there and have a look why these pigeons have died.
Ramesh Naik Raut for GOA 365 from Kunkoli.
We will take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The doubling of railway track, transmission line, 4-laning of national highway projects in Mole Wildlife Sanctuary, a biodiversity hotspot in Western Ghats, would affect around 548 hectares of forest area, out of which 170 hectares of land fall into Bhagwan Mahavir National Park. The double tracking project would threaten 224 plant species and 101 bird species. Shockingly, the government will not replace felled trees. GOA 365 accessed the EIA report drafted by Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore on double tracking. Here's an exclusive in-depth analysis of the issue. The doubling of railway track from Castlelog to Margaon would affect 138.39 hectares of forest. Out of this, 128.294 hectares area falls in the national park. Proposal of transmission line projects involves diversion of 146.05 hectares of forest land, out of which 11.54 hectares area falls in National Park. Proposals of 4-laning of National Highway projects involve diversion of 93.451 hectares, out of which 31.015 hectares falls in National Park. The reports in possession of GOA 365 clearly states that Environment, Forest and Climate Change has granted Stage 1 in principle approval under the Forest Conservation Act 1980 for diversion of 97.75 hectares of forest land for transmission line submitted by Goa Tamnar Transmission Project Limited with some norms and conditions. However, no approval has been granted under Forest Conservation Act 1980 for doubling of railway track and 4-laning of national highway. The IIS team found 8,593 trees including 225 flower plants while preparing EIA report. It says trees are 252 meters tall and 265 centimeters wide in diameter are in way of doubling trekking project. Shockingly, the state says it will not replace the trees cut, but it does not have land to do so. The EIA report said 133 butterfly species are in way of project, out of which 12 butterfly species are only found in Western Ghats. Out of 133, 186 butterfly species are represented in schedule under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. There are more butterflies in Western Ghat compared to most diversity hotspots. IIS team found 940 dragonfly while framing the EIA. It says there are 57 dragonfly species belonging to 11 families. It makes 32.8% of diversity in Western Ghat, out of which 9 species are only found in Western Ghat. EIA report says there are 23 fish species in the area, out of which 11 species are only found in Western Ghats. 1 species fall near threatened, 1 in vulnerable and 2 in endangered category of International Union for Conservation of Nature. EIA says there are 24 frog species belonging to 8 families, out of which 14 species are only found in the region. Frogs' habitat would be potentially affected if the project goes ahead. EIA said 27 reptile species belonging to 10 families were found. 16 species fall in near threatened and 1 species vulnerable category of International Union for Conservation of Nature. IIS team also found 2 snakes and 1 unidentified lizard dead on track while framing EIA report. EIA further said there are 35 species of bird belonging to 21 families, out of which 9 species are native in the region. There are 54 birds' nests alongside 26 kilometers long railway track. IIS team conduct transects method to identify the mammals. Transects are animal signs such as dung or pellet, scat, den, digging, scratch mark. They found 45 mammal species including sambar, langur, porcupine, civet cats, bonnet macaw, Malabar giant squirrel, Hanuman langur troops during transects. The team also cited wild boar, moose deer, small Indian civet, brown palm civet, gaur herd and sloth bear recorded in trap cameras. IIS team also informed that forest officials saw tiger scat, 4-horned antelope, tiger and leopard crossing the tracks. Sameep Narvekar for Goa 365. The foundation stone for construction of the long-awaited Ram Mandir will be laid on 5th of August. There are talks of installing a time capsule along with the foundation stone for the temple. What capsule is this? Has it been laid for the first time? Such questions are haunting people's mind. Ram Mandir history in India goes back to 1000 years. Watch this special report on time capsule.
There are plans to lay a time capsule 200 feet deep in sanctum of Ram temple. The entire history would be captured in the time capsule and would be buried deep. Kameshwar Chopal of Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirtha Kshetra Trust gave details. Time capsules were laid while laying foundation stones for important buildings in India earlier. A foundation stone for construction of Ram Mandir in November 9, on November 9, 1988 was laid in Ayodhya. In 1973, Indira Gandhi government had kept time capsule below the gate of Red Fort. It was named Kalpatra. Narendra Modi was accused of burying time capsule below the Mahatma temple in Gandhinagar when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat. 400 years old time capsules were found in Spain in the year 2017. There is a huge history behind the time capsule. The tradition is being followed for last so many years. The time capsules are laid to preserve historic and traditional heritage and to also make sure the history reaches towards the future generations. Countries such as Austria, Bermuda, Brazil, Canada, Chile, France, Iceland, India, Israel, Kazakhstan, Kuwait, Malaysia, Norway, Poland, Russia, Singapore, Spain, UK and Russia and USA have laid time capsules in ground during the construction of crucial buildings. GOA 365, Pure Panji.
We will take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Murmugao Deputy Collector Sachin Desai has put forward a suggestion that families of people testing positive be placed under home isolation. He has also suggested that stickers be placed on these houses so as to make neighbors aware of the same.
Murmugao Deputy Collector Sachin Desai on Friday convened a joint meeting with MMC councillors, health and police staff at Ravindra Bhavan, Bhaina. Sachin suggested that since there was an issue of containment zones, the daily list of people testing positive would be sent to councillors. He said while the patients would be shifted to a COVID care center, the family will be placed under home isolation.
आणि आता जे इंडिविज्युअल खंय खंय हाऊजीस आसा आमकां केसीस मेळटा देर इज अ नीड टू स्टॉप पीपल फ्रॉम द हावस वेर देर आर पॉझिटिव्ह केसीस सो तांकां स्टॉप करपा खातीर हांवें सगळे कावन्सिलर्स जशे आसा त्याच प्रमाणे पुलीस आनी हेल्थ टीम जी आसा तांकां हांवें एक अपील केलां आनी आमी एक एक्सरसायज सुरू करपाचो ठरयला की जे पॉझिटिव्ह केसीस येतले तांचेर त्या घरांचेर आमी एक स्टिकर पेस्ट करतले आनी त्या घरांतल्या लोकांक सांगतले की तुमी आयसोलेशनान रावात सो फ्रॉम टुमोरो वी वील स्टार्ट दीस एक्सरसायज
कंटेनमेंट झोन केल्यार खंय तरी लोकांक बाकीच्या लोकांक त्रास जाता तेका लागून डेप्युटी कलेक्टरान एक सोल्युशन काडलेलें आसा गव्हर्मेंटान सोल्युशन काडलेलें आसा की जे जे पॉझिटिव्ह केसीस सापडटात घरान त्या घराचेर स्टिकर मारपाचो आनी तांकां फॅमिलीक आयसोलेट करून भितर ठेवपाचें एक्चुली सोल्युशन बरें आहा म्हाका दिसता खंय तरी बाकीच्या लोकांक त्रास जावचे ना त्रास म्हटल्यार इन द सेन्स तांकां आमचें कंटेनमेंट झोन जावचो ना म्हाका दिसता खंय तरी बरें डिसिजन आसा हितूर आमकां पूण एक ट्रायल बेसीस म्हाका दिसता तेणी खंय तरी थोडे दीस करून पळोवपाक जाय.
Hiru Mahale for GOA 365 from Vasco.
Around 25 fisherwomen from Kolwa and Banauli received a note on Friday from SGPDA Chairman Wilfred Disa to carry out their trade from inside the wholesale fish market in Margao. Even though they had been sitting there for years, but recently they had been asked not to carry out their business from there.
Kolwa and Banauli traditional fisher folks along with Banauli MLA Churchill Alemao met SGPDA Chairman Wilfred Disa at his residence in Nuve on the issue of they not being allowed to sit inside the wholesale fish market in Margao. They claim they have been sitting inside the market for generations. The SGPDA chairman has assured them of considering their request favorably by Friday evening.
रानासोर बसून ती बसता सगळे गव्हर्मेंटाने सपोर्ट केलो आणि आता ह्या वर्सात गव्हर्मेंटाक कित्याक त्रास करता हें तेका मुखोडे विचार मुगे फ्रेंड म्हणून बाबाशान मुगे फ्रेंड फिलीप नेरी इंडस्ट्री मिनिस्टर फिशरी मिनिस्टर सो फिलीप नेरी बरें हांवें तेंका कितली पाडयली हांवें तेमकां सीएमा बरयली सीएम म्हणल्यार तूं म्हणटा आपण गोंयकारांक बारीक समाजा लागून आपण उरता जाल्यार मार्केट कोण चलयता हो प्रश्न कोण कोर्टान गेलो कोर्टान डिसिजन दिलो तें होलसेल म्हणजे पूण त्या टायमाचेर हांव कोर्टाक पालो करता कोर्टाक हांव उबे करता कोर्टाक उबे करता पूण त्या टायमाचेर कोण आयलो कायदो आशिल्लो सरकाराचो सांगपाक ही 30-35 लोक पडे आहा तो थिंगा सुद्दां हितून ते बसून येयला त्या लोकांक थिंगा दवरपाक.
आतां मार्केट ओपन केलो, होलसेल ओपन केला, पूण थिंगा फकत होलसेल म्हूण आमी डिसिजन घेतलें कोर्टाकूय आमी सांगलेलें होलसेल म्हूण. आनी आतां ती चडशीं चर्चिला लागताय, चड फिरपाकूय लागताय. ती चर्चिला उरली पळय, चर्चिला म्हाका 2-3 फावट फोन केल्लो ताका लागून तांकां दवर म्हूण थिंगा, पूण आमगे तें डिसिजन जावूं ना. आयज चर्चील तांकां सगल्यांक घेवन येयला, हिंगा थंयचो 20 दीस आयलो हांवें. आनी तांकां आतां कितें करपाचें आमी आयज डिसिजन घेतलें. फिशरीज मिनिस्टरा कडेन उलयताय, CM कडेन उलयतलो आनी तांकांय ओन्ली 25-30 कितें आहाय तांकां भितर बसोवपाक कितें करपाचें आयज हांव सांजे म्हळ्यार डिसिजन घेवन तांकां सांगता.
आमी आतां बसपा केलें म्हणटा बाळा देव बरें करूं विशेष मिनिस्टरान बाबासानान आनी त्याची लागची गायन एकठांयजान त्या मिटिंगेन आमकां आतां मागीर बस म्हणाय आनी जुन्या बसनाक म्हण आमी जुन्या आमी मायाको बसनाय तांकां बाळाक आमगे केलें म्हण पोटा केलें म्हण देव बरें करूं.
Ramesh Naik Raut for Goa 365 from Nuve.
Aam Aadmi Party has strongly condemned the functioning of the BJP governments in the state and at the centre. On Friday, AAP demanded that the government should give relief to the common man from exorbitantly high electricity bills. AAP also demanded lowering of VAT on fuel.
AAP youth leader Lorenzo Silva said that high prices of diesel and petrol were putting additional burden on the common man who was already reeling under the weight of the inflated electricity bills. He said that unemployment was at all-time high and spending power of people so weak that instead of helping tide over difficulties, people were further burdened by the insensitive government. Meanwhile, AAP welcomed the move of the Delhi government to reduce VAT on diesel to 16.75%. Watch their argument.
आयज 2 महिने जाले इलेक्ट्रिसिटी डिपार्टमेंट लोकांक घरांनी बिलां दिताय लायटीची, पूण ही बिलां हे लोकांनी केन्ना आदी पळोवंक ना. 2 टायम्स 3 टायम्स हाय येयल्या. आयज गोंयांत पयले सुवातेर हे कोविडाचे महामारीक लागून लोकांक जॉब ना. बोटी सावन जे भाव आमचे गोंयांत आयिल्ले ते आयज बेकार आसा. गालपा सावन भाव आयिल्ले ते बेकार आसा. ज्यांचे बारीक बारीक धंदे चलताले हांचे धंदे बंद आसा. ज्यांचे धंदे सारखे चलना. लोकांचे आयज कितें खावपाचे कितें पिवपाचे हाचेर लोक चिंतता आनी तुमी दोबरादान तिबरादान इलेक्ट्रिसिटीची बिलां आमच्या लोकांक पावयता. पयरची असेंब्ली जाल्ली एटलिस्ट फ्रॉम द ओपोजिशन लोकांक एक होप आसलो की हे ओपोजिशन असेंब्ली तो इश्यू वयर काडटलो म्हणून लायटीची बिलां वाडून हाडल्यार तेचे. बट आमचे ओपोजिशनूय हाफ असेंब्ली सोडून गेले. आमकां गोंयकारांक ही इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिलां इतली हाय तुमी दिल्यात म्हणून हांव सगळ्या गोंयकाराच्या नांवान तुमकां डिमांड करता जाता तितले बेगीन जे भाशेन दिल्ली इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिलां हाफ केल्ली आसा अप टू 400 युनिट जाल्यार गोंयाकूय हांव मागता तुमी अप टू 200 युनिट गोंयकारांक फ्री दिवची.
Ramesh Naik Raut for Goa 365 in Margao.
With that, we have come to the end of this news bulletin. For more news and updates, log in to our website www.goa365.tv. Follow us on Facebook, Goa 365 TV, and subscribe our YouTube channel, Goa 365 TV, or download our app on both Android and iPhones to watch it on your mobile. Keep watching Goa 365.